Wow.
Wow, this is some really deep stuff.
I don't know what just happened, but something happened inside of me. Something snapped, something.
I wasn't expecting that either.
Sorry.
It's okay. It's all right. It's beautiful.
Monster is like really small, but it had to become that to stop me.
And then the hurt child became present when you mentioned it.
And I didn't realize this until now.
There were things that I didn't remember until now.
Funny, I haven't seen that before.
It feels like I'm the monster. I'm kind of seeing images of things, of a world where they can exist. This clarity brings all kinds of answers.
It's clear. She hugged me and then went back to her place, I guess, in my heart. Oh, it wants to come out. It wants to bippity boppity boop Cinderella me. She's melted into my chest. It's ooey gooey.
All week been finishing things, cleaning up more, started eating vegetables again last week. And it kind of just started happening. It's almost like I just finished going through a meditation session.
I feel light. When you hit that first joint, in the morning, and
I actually feel a lot more awake.
So I'll start by asking you to think about a part of yourself that you'd like to get to know better or change your relationship with. And if nothing jumps to mind, I can ask it a different way.
Could you ask it a different way?
Okay. Any issue you'd like to explore, anything that you feel like is getting in your way, anything that's up for you.
Right now, I'm really stuck with my addictions.
Okay.
I don't need to drink, and I should say my drug of choice is marijuana.
Mm-hmm.
And alcohol has always been in my life, has never not been in my life.
Mm-hmm.
And often they go hand in hand, or if I quit one, I'll quit one on purpose and use the other, or quit the other one and then use the other, or try to quit them both, or I'll use one to get myself over if I'm quitting the other one.
Mm-hmm.
So it's before you called, I just took an old calendar and I just highlighted all the days of my non-sobriety in the last 2 months, and both months I have more days that I'm not sober than I am. And when I say sober, I don't mean I'm stone cold drunk and trying to pick up my children. I mean, I might, smoke up in the afternoon, or, smoke after a yoga practice, or vape before I pick up my kids from school, that type of non-sobriety. So no one would know that I have issues. I guess we could say it that way. But I will do it when I know I do it to suppress emotions. I know I do it when I'm feeling great. So I go through this whole cycle of feeling great, and then I enjoy it, and then I get caught in the cycle, or I'm stressed out about my husband. He has a lot of PTSD. So if I'm pretty laid back, and then I'm not. I'm easy to ignite. Maybe even things that don't even feel ignitable. I'll get triggered so fast, and I go to my greens as my soother. And when I'm not using, even right now, I'm pushing down tears. I always feel like I'm just pushing things down. So I use it as really like my calming agent, my soother, everything. But then I use it too much and I don't have any, like, if I could just be like, just use it Friday after 5, whatever,
Yeah.
that would be great. But I'm not that girl.
Okay.
If it's in my house, I'm enjoying it all the time.
Okay.
And I'm not ignorant to the fact that I have a lot of trauma from my early neonatal up to 3. And so it's taken me, I'm 46, and it's taken me much until my late adulthood to really figure out kind of what's happened. And I've started in a freeze response from from neonatal up until freeze response is like my favorite place to be when I'm triggered. And now that I'm working so hard on it, I feel like I'm getting less freeze and kind of more fight, like more ragey, more explosive. And so I then, I don't know, I was doing so well before the pandemic. I quit everything November 10th. And then I got through all the holidays. I got through the new year, and then the COVID hit. And God, I haven't been sober since.
Okay.
And I'm just so sick of it.
Okay. So it sounds like there's part of you that wants to drink, part of you wants to smoke, part of you that wants to quit, part of you that gets rageful, part that gets afraid and freezes, stressed about your husband. So I'm seeing all those as different parts. Does that resonate at all with you?
Yeah.
Okay. And so in this conversation, let's try to find a part to get to know better. So, for example, we could pick the part that wants to drink, the part that wants to smoke. We could pick the part that feels rage, for example, and just kind of focus on that and try to understand it and see if we can help it change how it shows up for you.
Okay.
Does that
Do I have to
sound?
pick the part?
You don't have to pick the part. No, I had a couple that I thought might be good places to start, um, like the part that chooses the smoking as a to soothe the rage. Those were the ones that jumped out at me. Were like the rage part and then the fix. The fix that with alcohol or smoking part.
Okay.
Do either of those feel like
Yeah.
they need your attention more than the other?
Yeah.
Okay. So see what happens if you can focus on that in your body and see where you notice it. Is there a place in or around your body that you notice that?
It's my chest, my tightness in my chest.
Okay. And what else do you notice about it? What's the sensation like?
It's like tight and contracting and like something's bearing down. Like like tightness.
Okay.
Clenched is kind of how it feels.
And as you notice that clenched feeling in your chest, how do you feel towards that part?
I want to rid it pretty quick.
Okay.
Feels very uncomfortable. It's irritating. I want to escape it.
Right. Okay. So see what happens if you kind of turn towards that part of you that wants to get rid of it and ask that part, just internally, ask that part if it will give you some space in this conversation so that we can get to know this other part that's causing that clenching, just see how it reacts to that.
I mean, I feel a little less pressure.
Okay.
It's still there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So our goal is just to, because the goal is to get to know the part, then any other parts that are angry at it or are pushing it away, we just need to ask those for a little bit of space, enough to get us to know the part. And they don't have to vanish entirely. But we just want to see if there's enough space to get curious about that clenching part. So how do you feel towards it now?
I mean, I'm feeling a little like weepy, but open.
Great. Great. So keep focusing on that and kind of turning towards it, and try letting it know that you're open, that you're curious about it, and that you want to get to know it better. And then try asking what it wants you to know, or what it wants you to know about it, and just wait for the answer.
The tenseness kind of went up into my jaw, and I'm kind of getting this message that I'm like, it's okay. I'm okay. I mean, I don't feel okay, but that's what I hear.
Okay. And so is it this part, this tenseness, that's saying you're okay? Or is that some other part that's trying to let you know that this is all okay?
I don't think it's the tenseness because it really weirdly moved into my jaw.
Yeah. Yeah, there might be another part that kind of wants all of this to feel okay, and really, in this conversation, you can put the brakes on anytime. You don't have to go real deep with any of these parts. So you can thank that part for reminding you that you're okay in this conversation. We really want to know what it is, what the message is from this tense part, the tension in the chest, what it wants you to know about it.
I don't know. I just feel like nothing's coming to me, and I feel like this is where I always get stuck. I can't. It's like I don't have words or.
Yeah, it's okay. And I just want you to know that anything you hear from any part, you don't need to share with me. It might not be verbal. And so there's two different points I'm trying to make. One is you don't have to tell me, and two, it might not be verbal anyway. So
As of right now, it's not verbal. I feel still a lot of tension in my jaw and now in my like upper shoulders.
Okay.
But I feel like I can like exhaling always is harder for me than inhaling. Like I'm good at inhaling and holding. I'm not good at exhaling and holding. So I feel like it's just like wanting me to breathe, like open and breathe through.
Yeah. And what do you think? Can you ask that tension in the jaw and shoulders what they want you to know?
Self-sabotage came to mind.
Okay. And are you okay hearing that message from them?
Yeah, I mean, it's bringing tears, but
Yeah, I hear that. Just let them know that you're okay hearing that, even though it does bring those tears. Just let them know you're okay with that right now. And if they have more that they want to say about that to you, that they can just, you can also ask them not to overwhelm you, but just to let you know what else they have to say about that.
my husband's face is kind of like flashing before me, and I know that like when he's struggling, that's my trigger. That's a trigger. And I'm really so quick to react to that internally.
Yeah. And that internal reaction, is that kind of like that clenching in the chest?
Yeah.
Okay.
And my immediate vision of going to get my greens.
Yeah. Great. Well, those parts are really communicating with you now. So you've got a good channel going. And they're showing you those insights of your husband's face. And so you can thank them for that. And if you're okay with it, you could ask what this part is afraid would happen if it didn't react that way, if it didn't get your attention that way. For example, when you see your husband's face in that way, what is this part afraid will happen if it doesn't clench up like that and get your attention that way?
I mean, I'm feeling like I would have to breathe through it and stay calm rather than react. I'd have to hold space. That I'm so impulsive. I've never I'm hard to hold space because my impulsivity is too fast for it.
Okay. And so what's it afraid would happen if you didn't hold space? What would be bad about that impulsivity?
Well, the impulsivity is what leads me straight to my greens.
Okay.
I don't know. I guess I'd have to figure out how to hold the space where I wouldn't react.
Yeah, and what would reacting look like? Because you've talked about holding the space as one way to manage it. You've talked about going to your greens as one way to manage it. What's the part worried about having to be managed?
I guess I don't know. I don't. Can you reword that for me?
Sure. So the part clenches up, and then there's another part that, or it leads you to either needing to hold space or needing to use the greens. And so my question is kind of, what if you didn't? What is the part afraid will happen if you don't, put out that fire?
I mean, even hearing that, it's strange, but I'm like relaxing a bit. I'm not getting anything. It's
Okay.
like it's like more calmness.
Yeah. Do you see that somehow this part is trying to protect you from some pain? It's signaling you to freeze or to get out of that situation or to deal with that.
I mean, I don't know. I guess if I'm like taking on that as my own, and I shouldn't be. I say that now and I think calmly, but when anytime I get triggered, it's intense clenching. It's intense.
Yeah. It has a really strong message for you. And it's really worried about something. So we don't have to figure out exactly what it's worried about. And this could all be a nonverbal thing, but see if you can try showing this part some compassion and some appreciation for wanting to keep you safe from whatever that negative feeling is, from whatever would happen if you didn't, turn to the greens or manage it.
It's really calming. I feel like my shoulders dropped a little bit. I still have the kind of this weird intense pain in my jaw, but I feel like my chest area is opening.
Right. Just stay with that. Just let the part know that when it shows up like that, you hear it loud and clear, and that you appreciate whatever it is it's looking out for. You'd like to get to know what that is, but you can see that it's doing a protective job. Just show it that.
I'm having images of like my dad, and I know when I was younger, I froze fast and furious with his aggression, and I wonder if my body's like reacting to that. Similar feedback.
Yeah, that's what this part's showing you, it sounds like. You could ask it. It's trying to protect you from that feeling that you had when you were facing your dad's aggression. So again, just thank it for looking out for you and for looking out for you when you were a child. And then you could try asking it what it would rather be doing with its energy inside of you. If you could heal that, if you could make it so it doesn't have to do that job of looking out for that child or whatever other pain it's trying to prevent, what would it rather be doing with its energy?
Moving, playing is what's coming up.
Great. Yeah, let it show you that, and you can show it. Just keep doing that. Let it show you what that looks like.
I'm seeing all kinds of things. I'm seeing yoga. I'm seeing biking. I'm seeing being outside. I'm like everything under the sun. I guess I'd rather be doing laughing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And that's the ultimate goal here is to heal those younger parts so that these protective parts can relax. So, we're not gonna probably get to all of that in this conversation. It's a process, but just let the part know that that's something that you can do. that you'd like to do. And maybe try asking this part how old it thinks you are, and just wait for the answer.
The eight keeps coming up,
Okay.
although that doesn't make sense to me, but
Yeah. Just go ahead and update it on your real age. Let it know you're not 8 anymore. It's likely that that part took on its role around that age, and it started having to work really hard and doing that protective job around that time. It might be kind of stuck back there.
so strange how the feelings are moving. Now I have this tension in behind my left shoulder blade. It's so strange. But my shoulders and chest feel good.
Yeah, a lot of information to process, a lot coming at you. But it's good that you have that, you're in touch with them, and you have a good detector, you're able to detect it well. My last question for this part that gets clenched in the chest and worries about aggression and all of that, is what does it need from you in the future?
Space. It needs space.
Okay. Does that make sense to you?
Yeah. And compassion.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you might just want to let it kind of be specific with you, or show you more about what that means. Again, you don't have to go into a whole bunch of detail with me, but just make sure that you're able to hear that, and to kind of, if it has any action steps for you, what those might be. Just to listen.
It's giving me clues. It's kind of strange. It's telling me to leave and walk.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he likes going for walks, so that's one way to get space. My parts gave me the same information. So, I don't have any more questions. This is, you can go as far as you want with this part. You can stay with this part as long as you want. I would definitely thank it for showing up, for communicating with you. Thank the other parts that kind of were able to take a back seat and let you do this. Or if you have any other questions that you can think of for that part, go for it.
No, I don't have questions.
Okay. So, how was that for you?
That was cool and productive, actually.
Yeah? Great.
Yeah.
Feel like you got some space inside.
Yeah, it's that was an interesting process.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Would you call this like somatics or what you just did, or no?
I would call it IFS. I mean,
That's what
it's
that's IFS.
yeah, it's grounded. We live in our bodies and parts live in our bodies. So that was the first question I asked you, was to find it in your body. And so in that regard, it's somatic. Um, but we're having a conversation with parts, and often, the somatic presentation will be the first thing that you notice. But as you get to know the part, suddenly it's a whole person. It has an age, it has a face, it has dreams and intentions and likes and dislikes. So it's really about getting to know each part, understanding their intentions, coming to appreciate them, and trying to help them find uh, roles that work, and so that they're not all fighting each other. Get them harmonized.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Did you? There was a few times where you said like you felt that too. Like, what did you mean by that?
Oh, when I was saying about my parts, or
When I would say something and you'd be like, when you said like, yeah, that's what I got to, or that.
oh, yeah, I think I was meaning that um, that made sense, what was making sense to you or what you were interpreting from the part, I was also interpreting or assuming.
Okay.
I've only been doing this less than a year, but um, the patterns are pretty similar with my own inner work and with the work I do with others. So um, I'm able to kind of just, I can make some pretty educated guesses on what they're pointing towards. When a part says it thinks you're 8 and you say that doesn't make sense, well, it makes total sense to me, because
Okay.
that's super common. I mean, that's why I asked the question, is that the part is protecting an 8-year-old. And that is the next kind of level of this work, is um, meeting that 8-year-old and healing her and helping her out.
Wow. That's really beautiful.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah. Any other questions for me?
No, but I don't even know how to thank you. This was like a really unexpected, spontaneous, amazing gift you've given me.
Great. I'm glad to hear it. So that's all the thanks I'm looking for. Maybe we can do it again sometime.
That'd be great.
Okay.
Thank you so much.
Sure.
And
Yeah.
I'll have to thank Shannon for connecting me to you.
Great. Okay. Well, yeah, feel free to use that same link. We can talk again.
All right. Thank you so much, James.
All right. Have a great day.
You too.
Bye.
Bye.
Do you want to help bring more self-energy to the world? If you'd like to participate in calls or help out with this project in any way, I'd love to hear your ideas. Join the Discord server or contact me at james@liveifs.com. A huge thanks to our audio engineer, Yvonne, for your care and diligence in editing the calls. To every caller for your courage in sharing some of your parts. And to anyone out there getting to know their internal system, keep going. Who knows? That might be the most selfless, helpful thing you can do for others, and you're the only one who can do it. If you'd like to see us reach the largest audience, we must please the almighty suggestion algorithms at iTunes and YouTube. And they don't care about the power of IFS. They're looking for likes and shares and comments, and the sooner the better. Follow the links in the show notes right here in your podcast player to make your wishes known. And now, a minute of meditation. Or if you prefer, pull over. You can do it in 60 seconds. Just click one of those links. They're right there, and give us a like or a 5-star rating. It would really help. If you think this project is helping people, you're helping people by sharing it. Thank you.